Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Dr. Cortez. I'm back. I hope everybody's doing well. I know we in this for the long haul, so just sending many blessings to all of you and your families and your school communities and your loved ones during this time. So, as you know, we got to continue our semester, and I'm hoping that y'all follow me through with your final research, writing it up, the results, findings, your PD workshops. And now I'm for this video, I'm going to talk about polishing up your your paper to make sure that its appearance and presentation is it's formatted well, all polished up, nice and clean, right? So when you submit it, I don't have to take any points off for that, right? So I'm going to talk about that. But before I get into that, I just want to say if anyone has any questions, must have a phone call, please email me or call me. Right, I do have my cell phone listed on the syllabus. I can just give it to you right now if you want to write it down, and so you can just pause the video real quick. And the number is 773-403-2941. And that's I asked you to pause the video if you wanted to, in case you had to get a pen and get the number. So the numbers are 773-403-2941. You can send me a text, and so we can set up a time to talk, and I can support you during this process, right? Because I know everybody's overwhelmed, and that's an understatement. And so we do have to get this through, and I want to support you during this process. So please, if you have any questions, need any support, clarification, just hit me up, and we'll figure it out. Cool. All right. So before I get into this, please engage in self care, collective care, right? I mean, we're stuck here. My brother moved in with me. He moved in with me the other day, 4 days ago, and I'm used to living by myself, and now I have a roommate who's loud and very active and can't sit still. So I'm doing my meditations and all that because I love my brother, but we're just two different levels of energy when we engage, right? So, but it's all good. Of course, I'm glad he can be here with me. And it's funny because he had to move in with me because his roommate, he lives with a roommate and has who has a 17-year-old son, and he went out to hang out with his friends. And my brother and mom let him go, and the mom said it was okay. So he was like, "Well, if he goes, I have to move out because I have respiratory problems and I can't risk that." Right. So, in terms of his health, I told him, what, will you come over here with me, man? So we can make sure you're okay because this pandemic is real, it's serious, and unfortunately, the people that we know are not taking it serious, right? So he's here with me. All right. And speaking of the pandemic, I came across on NPR. This is an article that said that 70% of folks who have died in the city of Chicago, 70%, 70, who have died from COVID-19 in the city of Chicago are African American or Black. So I mean, that really like, boom, that blew me away. And we really need to talk about health in our communities, right? Um, just access to health, right? Insurance, health insurance, and all that good stuff, and what we can do to really inform folks that this is serious. And even though there's people who say, "Well, I'm young, I'm okay, I'll be all right," but right, it's that whole message of like, yeah, you'll be fine, but if you're carrying it, you're gonna affect the people that you love and others in your community. So please reaffirm that message, and let's take care of ourselves and our community members, right? And also keep in mind, with the Latino community, immigrants, undocumented immigrants who are probably not seeking the help, maybe because of their language barrier and not getting the help that they deserve and need. Let's be responsive to that as well, and just be aware how we can support communities. Both Latino, African American, of course, everybody, of course, right? But we know who the low income communities are in the city of Chicago, and just be aware of that and be of service, right, and support to those who need it. So let me just say that before I get into the piece. All right, so if you go to your syllabus, go page 10. Um, After you're done with your PD workshop, right? I want you to go back and then I want you to draw up your part one, which includes the title page, the abstract, and table of contents, right? And of course, I saved this for last because you can't do this without having a full paper, right, to figure this out. So if you take a look at it, right, on your title page, which is the first sheet when you submit it in your PDF or Word file, put your name, title of your paper, the date, and the class, right? So it's Lead 429, research methods, and all that good stuff. If you want to put my name, that's fine. If not, no worries. And then on the second page, I want you to write the abstract. It'll be your abstract page. It's just real short and brief. And again, you can look at the final paper sample that I made available on D2L. It's spaced, no longer than 300 words, just real quick, concise, and it must include your concern topic that you're covering, right? Your main research question, your data collection methods that you use. So in your case, it's the survey data collection and your second data collection method, your results, right? After collecting your data, and that's pretty much your the abstract. So you could take a look again at the final paper sample, see how she did it, right? So just real quick, it's kind of like a real concise, brief summary of your paper, right? So it's the concern topic, main research question, your data collection methods that you used, and your results, right? And at the bottom of that, I want you to write 3 key words that stand out, right? So for example, if folks are trying to look for your article or your research paper, what are some 3 keywords that stand out in terms of your topic, right? And this is up to you, right? Subjective, so there's really no right or wrong. But I want you to think about this and frame what 3 concepts, right, really stand out when it comes to your research, and you put it underneath your abstract. And again, take a look at the final research sample to see what I'm talking about on the second page. Following that page is your table of contents, right? So you have to make sure to include all of the sections, your introduction, right? Your research topic, right? Main research question and purpose, your review of literature, your methodology section, your findings and your results and findings, right? And your PD development proposal, your references and your appendix. So you put that in your table of contents, and again, you could take a look at the final research paper sample to see how she did it. So you could it can guide you and figure out how you can do it for yourself. Right? Cool. All right. So that's part one. Now, here's some things that I want you to make sure that you review before you submit your final paper. And this is very important because if it's sloppy, if it's all over the place, if it's not edited right, if there's misspellings, I take points off of that, right? So I don't want to do that. I always recommend that you have someone else look at your paper. It can be anybody. It can be, anyone in your family. It could be someone in your school. It could be one of your classmates, because that's important because you've been looking at this paper for such a long time. That's easy to not catch misspellings and grammar errors, right? So make sure to have a second person to take a look to catch any misspellings, grammar mistakes, and all that good stuff. Cool. All right. So you are also required to have a header on top of your sheet of your page, and in order to do that, if you take a look at the final research paper sample, when you look at all the pages, the running header is on top, right? And it's basically the title of the paper. And in her case, what she has is best practices used in data instruction to support ELs, English learners, excuse me. And that's called the running header, the header, right? And the way you put that, it makes your paper, one, it makes your paper look nice, all professional and stuff, right? And a lot of people don't know how to do it, so I'm going to show you how to do it. I still haven't figured out how to put the monitor so you can see, but I'm going to explain it to you, and hopefully you'll be able to find it. But when you're on your Word document, right, and you have your final paper, you go to your horizontal menu, right, and you go to where it says insert. You click on that, the menu drops, and then a little bit to the right of the center, you see where it says header, and you just click on that, and you can pick the first one, right? Boom. Once you pick that, and then you can just type in there, if it could be your full title you have for your paper. If it's a bit extensive, you could just shorten it, abbreviate it, right? With a few words, or whatever. But as long as it's either your actual title or an abbreviated version of your title is fine, right? And that's your header. Boom. Just so something cool, makes the paper look nice, all professional, right? Another thing to add is make sure to add the page numbers, right, for each page. So make sure you include that, and you actually do the same thing in order to insert it into your paper. You go to insert, and right underneath where it says header is a page number. Boom. And for here, it doesn't matter. It could be at the bottom of the page, it could be on top. It's up to you. As long as you include it, no worries, right? But it is important to have a page number because when folks read it, they want to refer back to like one page 2, page 36, it said this, blah, 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 right? So just make sure you include that because you need to practice that as a habit when you write papers like this. Again, edit grammar, spellings, subheadings. Make sure all the subheadings that I have in my format, make sure you have them listed in your work, in your paper. Look at the final paper sample, right, to see how she has it, and you can see, just follows. I have it in the format, right, in the syllabus. But if you want to see how it looks, in a paper, look at the final paper sample, and then apply it to your own paper, right, in terms of the sequence and how it flows together. Cool. We got the subheadings. And then just a sequence of sections, right? Make sure the sequence is according to the format. Don't flip it around. Don't take one out. The way I basically grade your paper is if you have any of these parts missing, I take away points for that, right? We'll review it, once you submit it, right? And I will give you feedback if you submit it to me by April 20th, right? So for sure, if you submit it to me in 2 weeks or before, I will give you feedback on your paper, right? So just I'll repeat this up before I let you go. So cool. So make sure you have all the sections and all the sequence. Now I'm gonna jump over to the appendix. So if you go all the way down to part 9, right, in page 14 of your syllabus, you will see where it says references and appendix. And here you would include your reference first, right? It references from your lit review. You throw it in there, look at the final sample paper, see what I'm talking about, and make sure that for those of you who I've given feedback where I said that make sure to polish up the format of your references, right? And especially with the indentations, right? Make sure you follow it through and change and edit it before you submit it. And you will put your reference first, and then you will put your appendix second. They're two separate items, but in terms of sequence, make sure you put your appendix first. Make sure you put your reference first, and then your appendix, right? And you'll see that in the final paper sample. Now, for your appendix, I have different things listed in the syllabus, right? I put questions, objectives, and data collection, survey, interview notes, observation log entries. B, Google Drive form results. It has to be either the graphs or the Excel only. If you don't submit the graphs or the Excel from your Google form survey or whatever format you use, I won't accept it. It has to have the graphs or the Excel results, right? And you need to include that in your appendix. And in this case, it will be appendix C. Right. If it goes over 10 pages, you could just cut it off at 10 pages and just submit the first 10 pages. 10 pages. I don't need to have a document that has, an appendix of like 80 pages. So just, we're just teaching them how to do this and put it together. Any internal document that you have referenced and used in your paper, you can include it here in appendix C. Excuse me. Ooh, I think I got a sneeze. Ooh, I thought I had a sneeze. Okay, hold on. And or if there's any graphs or charts that you use from any other source, you can use the appendix D. If you don't have any of those, don't worry about it. Just don't include anything. And then for appendix E, remember that we went to the what's it, the school profile. So your school profile that we saw in the beginning of the semester in your Illinois report card website, you can go to where it says view at a glance report, and you could take that out, screenshot it, and put it in for your final appendix like item, right? So that's just I have A B C D E F, right? So if you look at the final paper sample, she only uses 3 appendices. A, what she did, she didn't follow the format, but it's fine because I actually like what she did. Is in A, she put both the survey questions and the results together, right? Boom. And then for B, she used the second data collection method. In this case, it was the interview. So she put the questions and the answers. If you did another type of data collection, if you did an observation or a log entry by a participant, you could just include the objectives and then the notes that you got from there, right? If I know some of you have used different surveys, done more than one interviews, then you could just do them separately and just make them into a different appendix, right? So for example, if you did 2 surveys and 2 interviews, then you could be like appendix A is the first survey, questions and answers. Appendix B is the second survey, right? Questions and answers. Appendix C is the first interview, questions and answers, and Appendix D is a second interview, appendix and answers, right? So boom, it all depends on what you did. Just put it in that sequence, and if you've used any graphs or charts, any internal documents from school, throw it in there. If not, don't worry about it. And just the third piece or the final piece, depending on how many items you have, right? Is make sure that you put in your view at a glance report from your school that you can find either on illinoisreportcard.com or maybe through the CPS website, right? And it is called the view at a glance report. And if you get stuck with this, you could just email me and I'll walk you through this so you can find and figure this out. Cool. And again, take a look at the final research paper sample, and you'll see what I mean with the way she has laid out for her format. All right, cool. That's it for that. The last things I want to say is I am I'm accepting papers now if you're done, but the due date is April 20th, right? That's plenty of time to wrap it up, put things together. um, I know some of you may have some issues with data collection because of this whole pandemic. So let me know, please. Let me know ahead of time. I don't want to wait till last minute. We have plenty of time to do this. So please, 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 um, do this ahead of time so we can have time for me to give you my feedback, and so we can get A's in these papers, right? And then the final day for you to submit will be the following week, April 27th. Now the only thing about that is when you submit it, then I won't give you feedback, right? So it's to your advantage to submit your final paper to me on April 20th, right? Because I'm giving myself time to look, review, give you feedback, so you can get a better grade and just have a great paper at the end of the semester. All right, and then no later than April 27th. And unfortunately, on that date, whoever submits on that day, I can't. I won't have time to review it and give you feedback on that. So cool. All right. Well, I hope this made sense. I hope you are well. I hope please again take care of yourself. I can't say that enough. And I'm here. I'm here. Please reach out to me. I'm not sure if everybody's getting the email, so please like if you guys have your own networks of contacting each other when you see this, please send out the text to each other. Let them know that I sent out the video, and let everybody know to reach out to me if they have any issues, concerns, they need clarification on anything or just explanation. That I am available and we can figure this out. All right, cool. Oh, sending y'all blessings and much love. And let's get through this, yo, because we need to really, right? And we can. So, all right, peace and love to everybody, and take care. All right.